Ah, my delightful audience. There is a feeling so sweet, it can only come from watching the world unfold in front of you. It is the feeling of seeing those who once thought you were nothing become nothing in front of your eyes. It is the thrill of watching those who once laughed and ridiculed you now writhing in regret. They kicked you while you were down. They thought you would stay down. But here you are, and now they are on their knees. The world shifts in such mysterious ways. One moment, you are lying in the dust, bruised and broken. The next moment, they are the ones choking on their failure, realizing that they were the ones who never stood a chance. When they kicked you, they did not know that you had something far greater than their hate. They underestimated the power of your will. They thought they could destroy your spirit. They thought they could break you. But what they didn't understand is that every punch they threw, every word they spoke, every act of cruelty they inflicted on you, all it did was forge you into something unbreakable. They didn't just make you stronger. They built the foundation of your rise. They gave you the hunger that would fuel your drive to succeed. It was in the depths of that suffering, when you were surrounded by darkness, that you found your true self. It was in those moments of agony that your purpose was born. You were knocked down, but they couldn't see what lay ahead for you. The darkness they cast over you became the soil from which you grew. And while they celebrated their victory, not understanding that they were only laying the groundwork for their own downfall, you stood back up, and when you rose with a power that couldn't be defeated. Your enemies were so sure they had crushed you, they couldn't fathom that you would ever stand again. But you did. And the truth is, it is so much sweeter when you rise from the very ground they tried to bury you in. Those who once looked at you with contempt now look at you with fear. They see you as a threat because they see that you are capable of the impossible. They never anticipated that the pain they put you through would only make you stronger. It's the irony of it all that they can't comprehend. They thought they could break you, but all they did was awaken the beast inside of you. They should have known that a soul that has been shattered can never truly be defeated. It only becomes more dangerous. In their arrogance, they misjudged your character. They thought they understood the depths of your struggle, but they didn't know the full extent of your resilience. You were always a force waiting to be unleashed, but the pain they caused you acted as the final catalyst. Now, they can't look away from your ascent. They can only watch in disbelief as you rise, higher and higher, leaving them behind in your dust. It's a cruel thing to realize that all their efforts to hold you back only pushed you forward. They failed. You are a testament to what happens when they underestimate someone who refuses to die, refuses to stay down. Now, they're the ones on their knees, begging for a fraction of the strength you possess. They watch you and wonder how you did it. They can't understand how you turned the very tools they used to break you into the weapons you wield to destroy them. They are trapped in the webs of their own making, and you are the one who holds the scissors. They see you walking the path of success that they thought was never meant for you. They see you achieving greatness, and the weight of their own mistakes crushes them slowly from within. But what they don't realize is that they gave you the keys to your success. Every action, every moment of cruelty, every sneer, every whisper behind your back only pushed you closer to your goals. They kicked you while you were down because they thought it was the end. But they didn't know the truth. You were never meant to be down forever. You were simply resting before your climb to the top. And now, as you reach heights they can never dream of, you know that it was them who handed you the very lessons you needed to climb. Every hardship they caused you taught you how to become more. Every insult, every fight, every time they tried to break your spirit, they gave you the blueprint for your own success. You became everything they said you couldn't be, and that is what destroys them. The world is filled with people who think they are untouchable, invincible. But every person who thinks they can step on another, kick them down, hold them back, they are setting themselves up for a fall, because the world is cyclical, and those who rise on the backs of others often find themselves alone when the tables turn. They rise with nothing but the weight of their cruelty and arrogance dragging them down, and when their fall comes, it is swift and it is brutal. They will remember the way they kicked you when you were down, and they will know that it was that very act that sealed their fate. And you will rise. You will rise as a testament to the power of persistence. You will rise as a living, breathing reminder that nothing can break you. The world will try to break you, but the strength you now possess is beyond measure. You will rise, and the higher you go, the harder they will fall. The pain they caused you will become the fire that fuels your ascent, and the higher you climb, the more impossible it becomes for them to reach you. They thought they were clever. They thought they were strong. But all they did was show their weakness. They thought they could break you, but in reality, they were only breaking themselves. Now they will watch you take what was once theirs. They will watch you rise to heights they could never have imagined, and they will know that it is their own doing that made this moment possible. They made you the warrior you are. They made you the force that now haunts them. And when you stand at the peak of your success, when you have everything they tried to take from you, and more, remember this: the world will never stop trying to kick you when you're down. It will always try to break you, but it cannot. Not anymore. You have become something no one can defeat. You have become someone who has survived the worst and emerged victorious. You will continue to rise, and they will continue to fall. Their kneeling will be a reminder to them that they underestimated you, and you will stand tall, knowing that you did not just survive, you conquered. The fire that once burned inside of you, sparked by their hatred, has now become an inferno that will burn everything in its path. You were once broken, but now you are whole, and in your wholeness, you have become an unstoppable force, a force that they will never be able to reckon with. And the greatest joy you will find in all of this, it's not the success, it's not the glory, it's knowing that it was their own hands that forged your victory. It was their cruelty that built the strength you now carry. And while they kneel in regret, you stand in triumph. And this is only the beginning. They thought they were kicking you down for good, but in truth, they only set the stage for your rise. They thought their actions would break you, bind you, crush your spirit. They believed that you were weak, that you were fragile, and that the weight of their cruelty would finally collapse your will. But what they didn't know, what they could never have known, is that they were only setting the stage for your rise. They provided the very fuel that would ignite the fire within you, that would burn through every obstacle in your path, that would propel you higher and higher. And as you stand here now, looking down on them, watching them crawl in the ashes of their own misguided actions, you understand the truth. It was never their power that held you back. It was their ignorance, their underestimation of you, that allowed you to transform your suffering into something extraordinary. You see, they never thought you'd make it. They never believed that you could rise from the ashes of their hatred. But you did, and you did it with a quiet, unstoppable force. While they were busy laughing at your misfortune, mocking your pain, you were quietly gathering strength. You were learning, evolving, adapting. Every word they threw at you, every moment they tried to push you down, only sharpened your resolve. You didn't even know it at the time, but you were becoming something greater than what they could ever imagine. They could never have predicted that the very thing they thought would break you would be the catalyst for your greatest transformation. They kicked you when you were already down, not knowing that being down wasn't the end for you. It was the beginning of something greater. They thought that they could control you, that their actions would keep you in line, keep you small, keep you hidden in the shadows. But the truth is, you never belonged in those shadows. You were always meant for the light. And as they attempted to bury you under their cruelty, all they did was dig the hole that would one day become the foundation for your ascent. They thought they were destroying you, but in reality, they were just laying the groundwork for your revolution. Every act of cruelty, every insult, every moment of defeat, they only added to the growing fire inside of you, the desire to rise, to show them, and to prove them all wrong. And now, look at them. They are on their knees. They are the ones begging for mercy, for forgiveness, for a second chance. They are the ones who are choking on the consequences of their own actions, struggling to breathe under the weight of their own arrogance. They thought they could break you, but in the process, they broke themselves. The very foundation they built their power on, the very dominance they thought they held over you, is crumbling beneath them. And all you have to do is stand back and watch as the walls they built around themselves collapse in front of their eyes. You've become the embodiment of everything they feared, everything they never thought possible. You've become the very thing they tried to keep down, the thing they couldn't stop, no matter how hard they tried. And as you rise, they are left in your wake, wondering how they failed so miserably. They couldn't see it, not because they didn't have the ability, but because they were so blinded by their own hubris. They thought they knew you, thought they understood you, but they never truly did. They saw your struggle, your pain, your weaknesses, but they didn't see your strength, your resilience, your undying will to survive and to thrive. They missed the most important part of you, the part that would never, ever give up. As they kneel in front of you now, as they beg for a mercy they never extended to you, you can feel the weight of their regret bearing down on them. They have nothing left. They have nothing to hold on to. They have no choice but to watch you rise higher and higher, while they remain trapped in their own mistakes. And the best part? They know they can't stop you. They know that no matter how much they try to bring you down, they will never succeed. Because you are not the same person you were when they first kicked you. You are not the same person who lay on the ground, broken and defeated. You are stronger now, harder, more determined, more powerful. You are a force to be reckoned with, and no one can stand in your way. They can try to bring you down again, but it won't work. They can try to kick you, try to break you, try to tear you apart, but all they will do is push you further into your destiny. Every attempt to hold you back only propels you forward. Every act of cruelty they inflict only makes you stronger, more dangerous, more unstoppable. You are the embodiment of resilience, of strength, of perseverance, and they are nothing more than the tools that helped shape you into who you are today. Without them, you wouldn't be the person standing here now, victorious and unbreakable. The reality is that they underestimated you in every possible way. They saw your vulnerability and mistook it for weakness. They saw your pain and believed it would consume you. They saw your struggle and thought it would define you. But what they didn't understand is that you were never defined by your struggles. You were never defined by the pain they tried to inflict upon you. You were defined by your response to it. You were defined by your ability to rise above it, to turn it into something powerful, something unstoppable. They didn't know that when they pushed you down, they were only pushing you closer to your ultimate goal. Now, as you look at them, as they kneel in the dirt and watch you stand tall, you realize something that they will never understand. You didn't need their validation. You didn't need their approval. You didn't need their acceptance. You needed the fire inside of you. the fire that they helped ignite, the fire that would drive you to greatness. They thought they could destroy you, but they only made you stronger. They thought they could break you, but they only forged you into something unbreakable. And now, you stand before them, not as a broken soul, but as a force of nature, as a living testament to the power of perseverance. And they know it. They know they can't stop you. They know they can't bring you down anymore. They can only watch as you climb higher, as you achieve things they could never have dreamed of. They will always be left behind, stuck in their own mistakes, while you soar to places they can only imagine. You will become the very thing they feared, the thing they thought they could destroy. And as you rise, you will leave them in the dust, knowing that it was their own actions that made your victory possible. The world is full of people who think they are invincible, people who think they can break others and get away with it, people who think their power is unchallenged, that they can walk all over others without consequence. But the truth is that the world is a strange and unpredictable place, and sometimes the very people who try to break you, who try to tear you down, are the ones who set the stage for your rise. They create the conditions that allow you to grow, to evolve, to become something greater than you ever thought possible. So when they kicked you while you were down, when they thought they were destroying you, they were actually doing you a favor. They were giving you the power to rise. They were giving you the strength to become something they could never stop. And now, as you stand above them, victorious and unbreakable, you realize that their actions were the very thing that made this moment possible. Without them, you wouldn't be who you are today. Without them, you wouldn't have the fire that burns inside of you, the fire that will carry you to unimaginable heights. And that, my friend, is the greatest victory of all. Not just rising above your enemies, but rising because of them. You have proven to yourself and to the world that nothing can break you. No amount of pain, no amount of cruelty, no amount of hate can defeat you. You are unbreakable. And as you rise higher and higher, they will only be left behind, kneeling in the dust, watching you become everything they never believed you could be. This is your time. This is your moment. And there is nothing, no one, that can ever take it from you. The journey that brought you here wasn't an easy one. No one ever said it would be. There's no glory in the easy path, no lesson in the smooth ride. Those who succeed with no struggle, those who are never tested, never truly know the power of resilience, the depth of character, the relentless will required to rise above. And that is why your victory, your rise, is not just a reflection of your strength, but a reflection of your endurance. The world throws challenges at us. It throws obstacles, doubts, hate, and cruelty, and it waits for us to crumble under its weight. It waits to see who will break. It watches to see who will fall. And they thought you would fall, but they didn't understand. They didn't know that what they saw as weakness was just the calm before the storm. They didn't know that in those moments when you were lying down, broken, exhausted, you were quietly gathering every ounce of strength, every bit of resilience, every drop of defiance that would fuel your rise. They underestimated you. They couldn't see past their own arrogance, couldn't see that every word they spat at you, every effort to push you down, was only adding to the fuel that would one day burn brighter than anything they could ever imagine. So now, as you stand above them, as you watch them kneel, broken and regretful, know this: they made you. They made you into someone they can't even fathom. Their cruelty, their underestimation, their dismissal of your potential, it all led to this moment. Without them, without their attempts to break you, you wouldn't be the person standing in front of them today. You wouldn't be the force they are now so terrified of. you wouldn't have the strength that they now fear. Look at them. Watch how they struggle. Watch how they squirm under the weight of their mistakes. They thought they could control you. They thought they could defeat you. But what they didn't realize is that they were never in control. They never understood the depth of your power. They thought they knew your limits, but they were wrong. They thought they could hold you back, but instead, they created a force that would surge forward no matter what they did. You were always meant for greatness. You were always meant for more than what they saw. And now, as they kneel, as they beg for your mercy, for your forgiveness, remember this: you owe them nothing. They tried to break you, tried to destroy you, and now they are reaping the consequences of their actions. But you have become something greater than they could ever have imagined. You have become someone who cannot be stopped, someone who cannot be broken, someone who refuses to yield to the cruelty of others. They did their best to take everything from you. They did their best to rob you of your dignity, your strength, your hope. But they failed. Every time they tried to tear you down, they only helped build you up. Every insult, every moment of suffering, every cruel act they forced upon you, they all contributed to the creation of the person you are today. They gave you the power you now wield, and they don't even realize it. Every single time they kicked you, they forged your character. Every time they spit in your face, they sharpened your resolve. Every time they thought they could bury you, they only made your roots grow deeper, stronger, more unshakable. So, stand tall, stand proud, because this moment, this victory, this rise, it is yours. It is yours because you earned it. It is yours because you fought for it. And it is yours because, through all the pain, through all the suffering, you refused to give up. They thought you would be a casualty of their cruelty, but instead, you became the victor. And now, as they grovel at your feet, as they beg for the mercy they never extended to you, you can see the truth. You can see that their weakness was never in their power. It was in their inability to see the strength of your spirit. There's something intoxicating about watching those who once held power over you crumble. There's something satisfying about seeing the people who once thought you were beneath them, now begging for a chance to climb even a fraction of the height you've reached. And while they suffer under the weight of their own mistakes, you stand above them, a living testament to the power of perseverance. You are proof that no matter how many times you are knocked down, no matter how many times you are knocked down, no matter how many times you were told you're not enough, you can always rise. And when you rise stronger, sharper, more determined than ever. Their downfall is inevitable. It is the result of their own actions, their own pride, their own arrogance. They thought they could hold you down forever. They thought they could destroy you, but instead, they gave you the strength to destroy them. Every time they pushed you, every time they kicked you, every time they tried to break your spirit, they gave you the tools to rise above them. And now, as they watch you soar, as they watch you achieve everything they told you you couldn't, they know deep down that they were the architects of their own failure. There's a certain beauty in this moment. It's not just the victory you've achieved, it's the irony of it all. They thought they were the ones who had control. They thought they were the ones who would decide your fate. But fate has a funny way of turning things around. Now, they're the ones paying the price for their arrogance, for their cruelty, for their belief that they could control you. And you are the one who has the power now. You are the one who decides your future. You are the one who gets to look back at them with a quiet satisfaction, knowing that you are the one who rose from the ashes they tried to bury you in. So let them kneel, let them beg, let them feel the weight of their own mistakes. Because you, my friend, you are a force of nature. You are a living, breathing testament to the power of resilience. You are the person they never thought you would be, the person they tried to destroy. And now, you are the one who holds the power. But remember, this is not just about them. This is about you. This is about your strength, your perseverance, your refusal to accept defeat. This is about everything you've endured, everything you've overcome, everything that has made you who you are. You didn't need them to rise. You didn't need their validation. You didn't need their approval. You needed your own strength. You needed your own willpower. And that's exactly what you have now. You've turned your pain into power. You've turned your suffering into strength. And now, as you stand above them, as you watch them fall, you realize that this victory is sweeter than anything you could have ever imagined, because it wasn't handed to you. It wasn't given to you. It was earned. Every bruise, every tear, every moment of doubt, they all led to this moment. They all led to this rise. And now, as you look down on them, you know that you are unstoppable. You are unbreakable. You are the embodiment of everything they feared, everything they never thought possible. And the most beautiful thing of all, they'll never be able to take it from you. They'll never be able to take the victory that you are earned with every ounce of your being. The victory that was born from their cruelty, from their mistakes, from their underestimation of you. You have become everything they never thought you could be. You have become a force that no one can ever defeat. And as you rise, they will only fall further, trapped in the consequences of their own actions. And in the end, that is the ultimate victory. The rise, the triumph, the unbreakable spirit that can never be defeated. In the end, their attempts to break you were nothing but the foundation for your rise. They underestimated your strength, and in doing so, they crafted the very path that would lead to your triumph. You stand here today, not just as a survivor, but as a force of nature that no one can ever break. Their downfall is a testament to your resilience, and as you rise, you leave behind nothing but the echoes of their arrogance. You've proven that nothing, not pain, not hate, not cruelty, can stop you. Your victory is yours, earned through every trial, every struggle, and now you are unshakable.